So I left off here. The only thing I've done really is to apply compost tea like once. So otherwise, it's doing really good considering my inputs. You know, lots of fruits on if you look around here. And again, slow to come on, some of it. This row here was potatoes, which I harvested kind of successfully or successionally in the last couple weeks. So I think probably 4 weeks ago is when I harvested the first bushel of potatoes here, and then there was like 5, and so now I've harvested all of them, and I've replaced them. Around them originally was bush beans, because I figured, okay, we'll give it some nitrogen, you know, into the soil, take up the little bit of gaps in the space, and now the bush beans are starting to, you know, kind of take over the new space a little bit. Either if they don't produce a crop, at least they are producing nitrogen, and so, you know, but there is a crop of beans in here, so that's great. And then I stuck a few tomatillas and eggplants and things that were like scroungy and just in the greenhouse that you know, were in pots. So we'll see what they do now out here. I was just going to toss them in the compost. So we do have a few okra plants that have been producing here and there, but mainly, yeah, just kind of took that down. So we'll have to start thinking of winter crops here pretty soon for this bed. That'll be the next thing. And then we have my my melon forest, the melon and squash forest here. I mean, it's just crazy town, this whole thing, and just producing all kinds of fun melons and new things I've never tried. Like this feller here is called the Desert King. Huge melon, you know. And then of course we've got lots of different types of zucchini, like crookneck, squash, and you know, yellow zucchinis. This is the Lakota squash. Now if anybody wants a good ground cover, plant the Lakota squash. This is one plant, and it's, I think I've measured it all, like total I think it grows up to like 150 feet of vine, 200 feet for one plant. Produces sometimes upwards of 10 big squash per plant. That's pretty good. And it's just, yeah, it's a great ground cover. I mean, more than anything, this like kind of looks like this was a dam that broke, and the water is the vines here of this Lakota, and it's just crazy, but it's really cool. And it kind of just tour around here. I got cucumbers, or I mean cantaloupes, and all different types of watermelons. Tried to go with more of these baby watermelons. The sweet, the sugar babies are my favorites to grow. And then we also tried these Thai babies this year, which are really cool. And then we have like these other random varieties of melons. This is a jelly melon. You know, I can't even remember all the names of some of these things, but as you look through here, you see all these little guys in there, and they're just fun to look at and watch grow. Like, look at that little feller. So excited to try new things I haven't tried. I've almost tried everything so far this year, but not quite. So, and they just love the trellising. They love to be trellised up like that. Seem to do really well. So just to kind of complete the tour here, this area in the back, I'm actually going to put grass in here, a drought tolerant grass for the kids. This is going to be the kids area to play, and we might have a little like fire pit in the middle here. The trampoline, of course, is a very important part of my design for the kids' entertainment, but that's going to end up going back in this corner. I decided to level that swale out right there and put the trampoline back there. We're going to plant a nice a mulberry back there or something, provide the shade for the trampoline, but that'll be nice because it'll be kind of tucked away and shaded there, and give the kids more space to play here on the lawn, and multifunctional kind of situation. And then we're just going to kind of go with drought tolerant varieties of fruit trees like mulberries, figs, and things like that for the first, just for now, because we don't know what we're doing with this place yet. So anyways, yeah, so this is going to be great. And then you can see my little greenhouse that I built, and it's got this shade. It can be a shade house anytime. I just pull this over. I've got a whole nother length of it in there to put up if I need to. This is right now it's just not being used because it's so hot and I'm busy, but we're gonna get this thing closed up and in production for next year. We're really excited about it for this winter here. So yeah, and we'll just walk back here. I'm gonna probably plant some fruit trees on the outsides of these beds. This space here is going to be the chicken coop, which is positioned underneath the mulberry tree, the fruiting mulberry, so they can eat that fruit, as well as this will be fenced in, and then there'll be a little, other than the front gate to get in, there'll be a little gate right here, which will open up a corridor for them to go through that will be all fenced in, that they can then travel back behind the greenhouse, and then that whole section behind the greenhouse and the orchard will be closed off so that they can free range the food forest and the orchard. I'll be able to let the chickens out and just free range, and then at night when I put some food out, and they'll just want to naturally come back to their little coop kind of thing here. And I'm deciding whether I want it to be a mobile situation or whatnot, but basically this will be their home here in the future. Right now this is my compost operation, but this will eventually be a shed, most likely. And all my rocks that I've collected from this yard, I've actually pulled all this out of the yard. So we're in a riverbed, so I'm going to utilize that, make some cool stuff out of it. And yeah, I guess that just brings me back around here. Another Chinese elm I planted for shade on this side, and then all these little soldiers ready to go, get put in the ground when I find the right spot for them. But I love the cacti and succulents, really important, and most of these are edible. We got the opuntias, which is the flat paddle cactus here, that we can eat the little paddles, and we can also eat the prickly pears that grow on them. And then we have the Echinopsis San Pedro's back there, which has a medicinal properties to them, and as well as producing fruits. And we also have some Peruvian apple cactus that produce a really nice fruit around too. So anyways, these will be great. And then I'm just excited about getting this pergola done and having some shade back here, so I can enjoy being out in, close to the backyard as well. So eventually this will be a full forest of here, a little mini food forest, and then a nice food forest in the back. And pretty much everywhere you go, my goal is to, wherever you're traveling, on these pathways, on the middle pathway, it'll all be shaded throughout. The pergola here, everything will have a nice shaded retreat to get to, because it sure gets hot out in Orville. So alright, so that's my tour. Hope you guys enjoyed that and have a great rest of your day.